Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Pitch Night back with another video for you in the Phanteks NV7. Easy day. Before we get started, to God be the glory and blessings to all of you. Easy day. So I've changed this already twice since the last time you saw it. I actually talked about the temperatures and installing a water block in my last video. Well, not my last video, a couple of videos ago, because I did some Star Wars Jedi Survivor latest patch performance video. Was the last one I did. I did one in regular HD and the other, well, one in 4K and then the other one in 4K HDR. So easy day. So I've changed this a couple of times. So the last time you saw this, I had a 120 from O-Cool in the back. I had that Cool Stream from EK down here in the bottom, and I had the Hardware Labs GTX 360 in the top. So it has changed twice since then. So then I changed it, and that was before I got the GPU water block. Then I got the GPU water block, and then I had the GTX 360 in the top from Hardware Labs, and I had the EK down here in the bottom, and I took out the 120, and then I had the water block. That was the second change, right? So I didn't like the way this tube was running way over here. It just didn't look aesthetically pleasing to the eye, so I decided to change it again. So now I'm going to get a EK P360M. I think that's the name of it. But it's a cross-flow radiator. Also, I'm in my living room, so I apologize for the echo. And it's a cross-flow, so my plan is to run this section of tubing to the back of it, and then another section tubing out the other side into there. And it don't matter which side you come in for the EK radiator, as long as you coming out of the opposite side. And the cool thing about that radiator, it just doesn't have the ports in a normal configuration. It also has ports on the side and the bottom to where, you know, I can drain it easily. Put a cup up on it and drain it from there, which ain't gonna be no problem anyway since it's in the high point of the system. So it just gives you a lot of options, and that's why I ordered it. I didn't want to go with another regular crossflow. I wanted to go with something that gave me a lot of ports and a lot of options. So I don't know exactly how I'm gonna run it yet. I don't know if I'm gonna come on the back of the end bale with a 90, or I'm gonna come into the bottom of it with just a regular rotary. So we'll see once I get it and get it installed. And again, I ordered all my stuff from Performance PCS, and it should get here pretty soon. I did 1 day shipping on it so I can get it the next day. And that's what I've been doing for most of my stuff. I think I did, when I first got this radiator, I think I did 2 day shipping, but I've been doing 1 day shipping for my fittings because I don't want to wait. And I can't have my system down that long anyway, because I do the announcements for video editing for my church that I go to. So I need to have this system back up and running because, you know, we're always having changes, and I need to be able to make those changes for the church. When my pastor contacts me with some new footage, he wants me to either add or remove. So, yeah. God calls you in different ways to do certain things, man. And I've gotten into video editing. I've been doing it for years, and it just happens to line up with me attending the church that I attend and being able to do some of this stuff. And you'll be amazed about when you get into video editing and building PCs and stuff, how it's not that common. Everybody don't know how to build a PC or understand all the inner workings on actually how to do it. And then you start getting into this water cooling stuff, and you really start blowing people away. A lot of people, they order their water cooled PCs from a boutique or something, but me, I personally like the challenge of having to set it up. And, you know, and everybody that does their own system is going to be unique, right? And that's what I like about it. So I'll go over the loop order once I get that other radiator installed and show you what we're working with right here. And that should be an easy day. So I gotta wait for this radiator to come, but you ain't gotta wait because that's the next part of this video. So easy day. All right, YouTube, I got the loop all put together, and I've actually already put some distilled water in there. I didn't put coolant in there. I'm gonna drain it after I get done testing it here with distilled water to make sure I don't have any leaks, and then I'll put the coolant back in there. So far, yeah, easy day. I got this line hanging from the fans that I gotta hook up, but so far so good. Been running it for probably about 15-20 minutes. Probably gonna let it go an hour or so, and then I'm gonna drain it. Then I'm gonna put the coolant in there, but I'm gonna be running the system off its own power instead of a separate power source once I fill it though. I'm using my other rig that I'm building for my parents, and I just gotta get another CPU for that. I'm gonna throw an i3 13100F in there probably. Nope, I'm gonna do a regular 13100, which has an iGPU, so they can use that and they can get upgraded. They're on a really old, I think it's an AM3 platform, so I'm gonna get them an upgrade. So easy day. But it's sort of loud right now because it has air trapped in the system. And I didn't do a fill port because I don't have the fittings that I need to actually do it. So I'm gonna order a couple more fittings from Performance PCS, and I'm gonna get my fill port put together. So easy day. So for right now, I'm just filling it using this port over here, which is difficult for you to see. So the loop goes, which I showed you earlier, and all of these are bitch power fittings, and I'll show you the unique one here in a minute. They're either regular straight rotaries, 8 by 11 millimeter, or they're 90-degree rotaries. So easy day. So I got a 90-degree rotary coming out here, going into another 90-degree rotary with a bunch of extension rotaries here going into the cool stream radiator. Then it comes out over here, which is difficult to see. So I'm gonna bring you in closer here. So I apologize for the camera shaking. I got it on a tripod, but you know, I don't have a cameraman, and I'm gonna get a better camera. The G7 is good, but I want to get a Sony camera that I'm looking to get here pretty soon. So, but yeah, we'll focus here. So I apologize for the shakiness. So we already talked about coming out of the pump, going into this radiator. Then it comes out here, radiator at the bottom, out of the bottom of this radiator through another 90 with an extension, and there are rotaries again, into the Hardware Labs Black Nemesis radiator down here. Then it comes out through this T-fitting, which I've got the drain valve over here. Comes out that 90. All right, I'm gonna move the camera. Then it comes over here into this 90 with an extension, and I've got a cap here and a cap here on the GPU block. Then it comes out of this regular rotary and goes into another rotary here. Adjust the camera a bit. Yep, but it comes, yep, look at me, or listen to me. Yes, it comes out of here, goes into that rotary into the CPU block, comes out of the CPU block, out of a 90-degree rotary. And then I've got an angled fitting that I've had for years from my old build that I had, that I wasn't actually using, and it's right here. Let me make sure that's in the camera shot. It's not. It might help if I get it in the shot, right? Let that come up a little bit. And we'll turn the camera ever so slightly. Okay. But this fitting here is an angled fitting, and it's female on both sides. So I've got a 90-degree rotary in here because I wanted this to be smooth as it went up, this piece of tubing here, or section of tubing, so it's smooth, and it goes through that angle there into a regular, that's just a regular extension right here. That extension's a rotary, and you can see a little piece of it, but yeah, right up in here. I'm gonna move the camera a bit again. Just a little bit. But yeah, see that angle fitting I got here? And that's just on a rotary going into to the radiator. And this is that radiator I talked about getting this morning. It's an EK Quantum Surface, and the model number is a P360M X-Flow in black. So easy day. And then it just comes out of the radiator. I'm gonna go over here to the other side. I think that's a good angle. Sit you down on this camera here. Comes out, I've got an extension here. Comes out of that 90-degree rotary. And then goes into the top of the 90-degree rotary and then goes back into the reservoir. So now you can see, and I'm gonna back up and adjust the camera. Back up a little bit more. All right. Get a better camera, but easy day. This G7 is a great camera, but we've got some better ones out there. So easy day though. And as you can see, I didn't want to run this long piece of tubing way over here when I had this radiator down here in the bottom up here. So that just looks more aesthetically pleasing, making that short run up to there. And I've got this angle so I'm not covering up the RGB eye over here on the Asus motherboard. And now I don't have to have a piece of tubing running over here. It just comes out the radiator and goes back in there. So, but I'm glad I had those fittings. That's just a blessing to have had those fittings, because I could have easily just throw them away. But when I had them at the time, I was like, you never know if I'm gonna do another hardline tubing build or. But I bought most of these though, these smaller fittings like this. I bought them for the drain, just to hook up some type of drain. And I just wanted as many options as possible. So I'm glad I actually kept those and didn't throw them away. Saved me some money and time, not having to, get online and go back to Performance PCS and ordering those fittings anyway, which that's where they all came from anyway. So great shipping from Performance PCS. I ordered that radiator in the top yesterday and they got here a little bit after 8 or 9 o'clock this morning. So easy day. So now what I'm gonna do is get all the cable management done up in the back, and then I'm gonna turn the system on and since I don't have any leaks, and then let the system run the pump itself. So let me do that and I'll be back. All right, YouTube, I've got the coolants cooling in there. I've got it filled up to a respectable level for now until everything settles out and the bubbles accumulate in the reservoir right there, and then I'll have to add more. And I've hooked everything up. I've just got a cable management to get everything tucked, but it's ready to start. So I'm gonna start it. We'll turn it on and make sure all the fans are turning, because I'm a little concerned about these fans over here, because hopefully they didn't come loose when I was actually putting them in there, because it's tight. It's really tight trying to get up in there. So hopefully all the fans start. So here we go. All right, so far so good. Those 3 turning, the 3 in the top turning, the 2 in the back turning, and the 3 in the bottom turning. So that was an easy day. And all the RGB working. I got RGB working on the water block as well, which I didn't have working before because I didn't have the right connection. So yeah, easy day. Everything up and running. All I gotta do is get the cable management done in the back, and I'm gonna let it run for a little while longer just to make sure that I don't have any leaks. I've been running it now for over an hour and I don't have any leaks. So just to make sure. And I'm curious to about what the temperature is going to be too. I got to take care of this one line here. And actually that got wrapped around the tubing. I didn't even notice that. So now I gotta take care of that. But that's an easy day. All I gotta do is disconnect it in the back. So the next time you see this, it'll be in this place where it's supposed to be, and I can get to doing some video editing and some gaming. So easy day. All right, YouTube, as you can see, I am done. Man, that was a lot of fun. Man, I really enjoyed putting this together. And the best part about this is, well, there's actually a lot of best parts, to be honest with you. One of the best things is figuring out your loop and then watching it come together by your own, your own creation. So that's fine. And this loop right here, or this particular build, it may look similar to somebody else's, but it's not the same. So it's my own, you know what I mean? So that's one good thing about it. Another good thing about it, of course, is the way it looks when you're done with a final product. And another good thing about it is that planning and the planning and the, not really a dream, but the process of what it looks like in your mind when it's all done, and how close you can get to that dream or that process or that want, or however you want this to come out. So that's a good part, and they actually came out better than I thought it was going to come out. So yeah, that's an easy day. The loop order hasn't changed from what I talked about earlier in this video, so that's an easy day. Upgrades, I'll probably get a Gen 5 NVMe SSD and another 32 gigabytes of DDR4 G-Skill memory at 6400 megahertz. I won't be able to run it at 6400 megahertz though, because my understanding is DDR5 you can't do XMP with 4 sticks. So hopefully I'll be able to run it at least 6000 to about 6100 megahertz. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. And I might change the Arctic P12 fans off of that top radiator and put in T30s. But right now, I like the light that's being provided by the Arctic T30s just there in the top. It's not too overbearing to where it looks like it's some type of neon type build. So it's not overbearing. It's just got the right amount of RGB in it for me. So I'm glad that I listened to a lot of you with the encouragement and saying, hey, go ahead, water cool that thing, man. So I'm glad I listened. So I'm getting fantastic temps. It runs a lot quieter. And then it's just an overall fun, it's just fun water cooling. But then again, I am a computer nerd, so easy day. So any questions or comments, you can put them down there in the comment section. Easy day. And I think that's about it. I got everything that I really wanted to get out of this. So, well, one thing I'm going to do is get one of those cable mod adapters here for this 12 VPR power connection that NVIDIA now uses with their 4000 series graphics card. So I'll do that. And anytime I'm doing any type of updates or upgrades in this build, in this case, or with any of my computers at all, I'll take you along for the ride and make a vlog out of it. And I don't want to really do a how-to, because there's so many how-tos online now that it's not even funny. You can't really set yourself apart, but you can share your vlogs and your experience while you're building your own rig. So that was an easy day. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Probably play a little bit of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Thank you so much for watching my video, and be blessed. Later.